about the House?
Well, as far as my district goes, I'm very pleased with what it bodes for my political future. At the same time, it's still a very long, skinny kind of district, and I don't want to say that it's gerrymandered, but there are serious questions about the process that has been used. This was supposed to be completely open, completely above board. We've been having hearings around the state. I attended one of those in my home county, and we don't even know if any of the recommendations from citizens have actually been applied. We don't know if the mandates for taking care of certain concerns with minorities and other special interest groups have been handled properly. And so, there are a whole lot of questions about the map. For me personally, it's a very nice map, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily a good map for the state of Illinois.
Why is there that difference between, for you personally, it's a good map, but maybe not so much?
Well, I got a politically favorable district, so that makes it a good map for me. But that doesn't mean it's best for the people of Illinois. That the real criteria that should make up a good map, it doesn't mean they're necessarily there. And the problem is that this has been so shrouded in secrecy. Yes, we're seeing this happening incrementally, but the actual drawing, we don't know why they put the lines where they put them. Consequently, there are a whole lot of questions about the map, and until those questions are answered, then we can't declare it a good map.
So you said that you weren't sure the citizens had their voices applied to the actual map, but can't you tell just by looking at the map if that actually went into force, or if that actually played a...
Well, certainly in my district it has a very irregular shape. Now, I do live along the Mississippi River, so one side is going to be irregular. But one of the things that people always ask is for natural-looking shapes, rectangles, and a lot of the districts aren't rectangular. They're odd, convoluted shapes, and they've taken, in some cases, they've carved lines on very obvious political. They've carved lines in many places. They've carved lines that appear to have political motivations. And that's not the way it should be. So I'm just saying we have a lot of questions about it.
And why do you think your area was, I guess, politically favorable? How do you think you've managed to swing that, I guess?
Well, actually, if I didn't do this, obviously, so I'm just speculating, but our Senate district is roughly consistent with what it has been in the past. It hasn't changed a whole lot, and we have one Republican and one Democrat in the House, in the Senate district. And what it looks like is they made each of the two representative districts more safe to retain the Democrat seat and just relinquish the Republican seat. If that's what it looks like.
And I guess how did it change for you? What was different from what you ran before and what it is now?
Mm-hmm. Well, we've expanded greatly into Whiteside County. That's great. We basically got almost all the rest of Whiteside County. We lost some parts of Carroll County. We lost a lot of Henry County. We have a very small area in Henry County. But in Rock Island County, I will tell you that every precinct I lost came out of my district and went into the 72nd. Every precinct I lost.
And what do you think that impact will be for you when you want to run again?
Well, it probably means I could be here a while.
And on the Senate side, what's your general reaction? Do you have any sort of, are any of your senators affected, and how do you think that'll play out for them?
I think pretty much as far as the Senate districts in our part of the state, because I live in northwestern Illinois, very western, and roughly parallel with Chicago. In our area, the Senate districts didn't change a whole lot. They stayed pretty much the same in keeping with changes in population. And so that was fairly static.